Good morning, ISIS. This is Dr. Bainey. I wanted to follow up. I know that you were having some trouble with the news media outlet assignment. So what I want you to do for this is I want you to find three news outlets. The assignment says find a global. We're in America. We're in the United States. So if you want to cover U.S. politics or U.S. News, you're more than welcome to. It doesn't need to be a global one. Although, as I'm about to show you, sometimes the very most unbiased news that we get actually comes from non-American sources. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but basically this is what they call the news media bias chart, right? And basically what that means is how political or how partisan is one news outlet. And you constantly hear, that we no longer get reported the news. Instead, you get people's opinions, right? So when the news agencies were first set up, that was its job. Its job was to report what was happening in the world, and you didn't have anchors and you didn't have agencies import their political views. So I shouldn't say you didn't. This is where the editorials and newspapers came from in early, but now what people are saying, and I would agree with it at some level, is that the news is very political. So if you kind of take a look at this, in the very center are the middle ones. These are what we consider nonpartisan or non-biased. They are there to report the news as they see it. They're not going to put their own 2 cents in. If it skews to the right, well, then it's a little bit more conservative, right? So Fox News would fall into that, the Daily Wire, Forbes, any of those. If it's hyper-partisan, well, then it gets more and more. They're not going to report the other side at all. And then the same thing on the left. So skews left would be CNN, MSNBC, Rolling Stone. Hyper-partisan, excuse me, would be, Young Turks, Midas Touch, any of those kind of, and then you have the most extreme. So that is what's going along your x-axis. Along your right axis is how reliable is it? Are they making up facts? Are they making up, I guess, what they'd call alternative facts? Are they reporting the truth, right? So the higher you are, the more likely it is that what you're going to be hearing is true. If you get down into the lower level, like InfoWars, which was just sued for almost $1 billion, or the Black Agenda Report, or Left Voice. These are not necessarily reporting the truth, but rather reporting what they see or what they believe to be true. So what I want you to do with this is I want you to find a topic, and with that topic, you are going to cover that topic for 1 week. All right. So it could be the President Trump's allegations. It could be the Biden Hunter Biden laptop, or the impeachment of Joe Biden because of the laptop and because of his connection with Burisma or whatever that is. And it could be any topic that you want. It probably should be political because that's what the assignment's about. But what you're going to do is, let's say that you choose, and I want you to choose a centered one, right? Which right now they say that the BBC, the British broadcast, is probably the most unbiased. Find one on the left, which would be like MSNBC or CNN, and then find one on the right, which might be Newsmax, OAN, Fox News. And I want you to think about how they're covering that story, right? How is it presented? So all you have to do is just tell me the date that you watched it, and you can go on each of their websites, right? And just find the story that you're interested in, and then find that same story throughout the week and see how they cover it. Then once you do that, you're going to come down here and you are going to answer these questions, right? What's similar, what's different about how they report, which one provided the most information, right? So, even in the media studies, this is what we call selective exposure, right? So, or the agenda setting series, the agenda setting theory, which basically says that the news doesn't tell us what to think; they tell us what to think about. We know a topic's important when it's on every 30 seconds, right? If it's only covered once, it's probably not that important. But if they're constantly coming back to it, then we as the audience think, oh, this must be really important because they're covering it and it's covered on every station. So then what I want you to do after you're done with that is just go through and answer these 4 questions, all right? If you have any problems with it, let me know. If you need me to bypass it for now so you can keep working, let me know as well. Unfortunately, what I'd have to do is grade it as a 0, but I'm happy to override that grade once you complete it. But that would at least give you some time so you can move on. So entirely up to you. Excuse me again. Let me know if there's anything I can do. All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.